Hi, I'm Carol Livingston, the owner of Dynamics Connections, and on this week's ISV Talks, I'm excited to have Guy Caron, who's the owner of Easy eBank Rec. Easy eBank Rec solves the challenges around bank reconciliation and Microsoft Dynamics, from everything from importing the bank file to recording transactions. Easy eBank Rec believes in creating products that add velocity to their accounting software. Please welcome Guy. So on this week's ISV Talks, we have Guy Caron from Easy eBank Rec. He's our guest this week, and we're going to talk about his products and solutions for Dynamics products. So Guy, welcome. Thank you for being a guest this week.
You're welcome.
So why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your company products and who you serve?
Yeah, so I'm born in Belgium on the other side of the Atlantic, little country between Germany, England, France, and Holland, and came in the United States 1980. All my children are firstborn Americans, and so it's a little bit of the American dream story of coming over to another country and then start one's business here. And what was interesting for me in that little journey is that Americans are very generous in helping people that they perceive are creating a new business in their country, because they kind of feel this is a little bit of a special thing for them, and they want to help as much as they can. So I was really privileged to that. I started in 1987, and I started with GP about 1993. So that's a long time ago, 28 years. I was a partner for most of those years, and somewhere along the company had a large customer with a lot of bank transactions around the world, and our product was born from that encounter. There was an Army emergency relief, and they had a need to track their checks written all over the world, and that's how we got the product started in simplifying the tracking of what check was open, what check wasn't come through, and born out of that became our Easy eBank product, which is really a Dynamics GP born product, and have really lived and have fed my family the whole time. And so Fargo is very familiar to me. But in a nutshell, that's how it was created.
That's cool. I love the American dream of coming to the United States and starting a business and a family. That's pretty awesome. So what are some of the new things, I guess, you're looking to introduce to add value as customers are thinking about their journey to the cloud?
So from that perspective, we believe that more and more things are happening in an automated fashion, but we forget often the end user or the person who is generating the transaction. So for me, in my world, on the banking transaction, if you think about the balance sheet, there's cash, right? But cash is also your credit cards. So any transactions that happen on that, you want to reconcile as fast as you can. So what we've done is we've created what we call automated bank transaction, and that has almost become as important as the actual reconciliation itself. We want to drive that even further in our new products, and by allowing people to use their phone to take a picture, attach it to a transaction that gets uploaded and gets matched up with a banking transaction. So it's almost seamless. It doesn't matter, it's an invoice, a credit card receipt, anything that has to do with cash. You go to the hotel or that you have an invoice you have to pay. Our intent is to make it seamless so that you can record these transactions and feed them into the ERP.
Like, how many transactions do you think has been the most that you've seen that your system handles?
So one customer is 100,000. So that's a lot. That's just a lot of transactions. Wow. We have to tweak the product to be able to sustain that kind of a volume and do things a little bit differently to handle things. And then we have another customer who has like 300 bank accounts. Just imagine what it means for the bank racks at the end of the month. So we don't do monthly bank racks. We do our matching every day, and it's automated. And so
Yeah.
that speeds everything up. And obviously went from 300 hours to 30 hours. So those are the big things that we do. So.
Yeah, and I think that like solutions like yours, I when I was a consultant, these are things I look for, right, to improve and optimize their use of the system, and being able to do bank recs during the month instead of waiting till month end and you get the bank statement. That definitely improves everything, right?
And then
less
if you
stress and less time.
If you can automate some of those transactions that you have in there, ZBAs, interest, service charges, credit card charges, things like that. So we want to take that concept and drive it even further. And so that we can have things that almost can come in anybody. If I go get gas, if I go buy some food for my business, or I do an expense, our intent is to allow the corporate credit card user to take the picture, and it shows up the next morning on the transactions on the bank statement. And then you marry it up. And what does that mean? That means the accountant who is going to record that, it's already all done for them. All they need to do is authorize it, and off they go. Same with a hotel, same with an air flight. And so it all will be seamless. And that's what we're trying to do. And the other thing we're trying to do from a cloud perspective is we like to give people what we consider a cash position. And we're going to probably dub our new product by called a treasury management product. Why? Because when you have a lot of bank accounts as a small business, because you might have multiple entities in this, you want to know where your cash is and what your cash position is. So if you look at the treasury management system in the ERP space, yeah, the big boys have their very expensive products like Kariba and G Treasury, but there's nothing for the small guy. And so our intent is to offer a monthly subscription and let them give their cash position every morning and know where you are, and know if there are issues between things in the bank and not in your books, and things in the books not in the bank. $5, we don't care, right? But a $10,000 check that is not coming in, that needs attention, and that's our intent there. So.
Yeah, that cash position, that is a pretty big thing. I see a lot of customers that were doing things in spreadsheets and tracking as their kind of external treasury management in Excel. So yeah, definitely I see
we can probably do that because we do daily matching, as you mentioned earlier. So by getting the transaction every day on a daily matching perspective, now all of a sudden you have the transaction. So I know how much cash you have, and I know your accounting part. And so that way we can bring the two together and give you more information on that. And so that's what we're doing at this point. So.
What are you looking at in terms of Business Central? Are you looking at a compatible version for Business Central?
Yes, absolutely. The new version will be Business Central, Dynamics GP, and F&O as well. And so our intent is to try to really focus in that market. We've seen a couple of challenging starts on the Business Central side, but it seems the traction is now there. Like they've matured enough that it's working, and that people are looking for additional products on there. And that's what we're going to fill that void about the bank rec.
So maybe just kind of looking at sort of overall challenges that you've seen in the channel or with partners or customers with the pandemic. What are your thoughts and challenges?
Yeah, so it's very interesting because over the last couple of years we've done a lot more remotely, and we've done a lot more things by trying to do presentation and support. And for us, it was fine. The customer sometimes felt a bit intruded, I'm going to say. And with the pandemic, to try to take a positive spin on it, that's no longer an issue. We don't even talk about that anymore. They don't even want you to come on site anymore. They want to just be available right then and there, get on the call. I often will no longer do email support. Why? Because it's faster to do a 5-minute quick chat call and get it resolved, see what it is. And my relationship with my customer has become closer. I see them, we have them on video, we have conversations, it all goes faster, and we've gotten closer to our customer from our end. The negative is that, of course, you have to be more available. You have to manage your time bit, and that's been a challenge for me on my end. Too many people expect you to be right then and there and available. And so that's been challenging from that end. So
Yeah.
to me, as much as COVID has changed a lot of things, from a customer relationship point of view, I think we've made the
It's
best out of
better.
it, and it's become
Yeah.
better for us.
Yeah, it's better and you can be a little bit more flexible. And I think so many people are working remote. So having remote support totally it makes sense and definitely helps customers. Um, so is there one trend that you're seeing that in the space that's driving customers or partners to talk to you?
Yes, there's a very clear, so our success in getting our product sold is once they get on and they see what we do, the interest rises a lot. So what we're trying to do with your help and others is to say, just look at how much time it takes to do these things. And then we're trying to find something that will be, I'm going to call it a bit sexy. And the cash position for me is going to be one of those things. Get the attention of the CFO and say, would you like to know your cash position? And would you like to know if you are reconciled in your bank accounts instantaneously every morning? So you can have 50 bank accounts and you can have your own rules and see a couple red ones, a couple yellow ones, and a lot of green, hopefully all green. That brings maybe the chat. People are often not willing to change their process unless there is pain. So we've more and more done things where if you want to automate transactions, you should see us. If you have a lot of time in your bank rec, you should see us. If your bank recs are complex, you should see us. And the fact of the matter is, when you come to the end of the month for us, we're done. There's nothing you need to do because you can do it weekly. It becomes a weekly process rather than a monthly process.
So month end's just another day of the office. It's not stressful. You don't have to get it done to get stay up till midnight. You've got it kind of already as a process every week. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
That's been our belief the whole time is we don't want you to have the bank rec be a onerous thing at the end of the month. We would like to move you into a weekly cycle, and for that matter, in a daily cycle. And we can do that very easily. And then we can do these transactions for you. And we know as a client, we know that every morning your CFO wants to know how much spedini they have in the banks and where things really are. And we believe by adding that piece to it, it will make things very interesting. Our interest is really to bring a funnel into the accounting system with all transactions, credit card, bank, loans, and make sure everything gets booked. And what doesn't get booked automatically, it sits in the waiting area, and then you review it, and then you push it on through. And if you think about that, that becomes almost ERP agnostic. You can do something that helps people see where their cash is. That's what we're trying to do on that particular end.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, I think that a lot of people have those struggles, and I like that you focus on kind of those small business, the mid-market and small business sometimes don't get all those cool features. So it's great that you're looking to bring that to this market. So anything else you want to share, Guy, before we wrap up and I show your contact info?
No, I would say that if you have any kind of issues with your cash and reconciling the cash, we're not a solution for everyone. If it takes you 5 minutes every month, if it takes you any length of time, you should probably take a look at our product. If you have transactions that you do that we feel we can do for you, and that means either automated or manually, because we can book them manually one at a time, instantaneously filling all the fields and except for your distribution, then I think there's something you should take a look at. And once you have the cash position fully there, we'll probably have phone interfaces and basically any activity on your bank accounts. Our intent is for us to allow you to record it ahead of the cash or as soon as the cash has been dispersed at the gas station, at the restaurant, with a vendor that you pay and buy something online with. You can just attach the invoice in the PDF and it shows up in accounting, which means when the credit card transactions shows up the next morning in the transactions from the credit card statement, you're booked. How many people chase all those things? That's our hope, and then give you that cash position. So that's what our vision is. And hopefully that will help people do that in
Well, that's
the current
awesome.
GP world. Yeah, the current GP world, which has none of this. And then in the VC world, there's a lot more automation there. We're just going to try to give you a little more than what they offer out of the box.
So let me share your contact info so people know how they can reach you. I also have Alina as well listed here. I know she's kind of your right-hand person on the sales team.
Absolutely.
So yeah, definitely. Oh, here we got your signature cat here that so I know a lot of
There's
people
a
recognize
story
that.
behind that one also. So as a Boy Scout in Europe, you get a nickname, and that was my nickname. And I played rugby. I played rugby at the national team level, and so I was a bit fast and speedy and shifty, and that's what I was able to do. That's what we hope to represent in our BankRec product, and so that's how the product got that particular logo in that particular way. So.
Oh, that's cool. I did not know that. Well, thanks for sharing today and being a guest. And I hope that if you are interested in this product, that you reach out to Guy or Alina. You can also go to our ISV library anytime and look at the information that they have out there. But thank you again, Guy, for being part of this. And I appreciate you being part of our ISV talk. So thank you.
Thank you for taking the time with us. Thank you for what you do for the channel and have the passion. Having been on both sides of it, it's really a joy from our point of view. Your knowledge shines through everything when we communicate with you. Thank you very much, and we'll see you later.
Okay, bye-bye.